Hello, hello. Here we are again, coming to you from the Paranormal World Show under the umbrella of Broadcast Team Alpha. And we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to step out of the box again. So far, we can't see the box from here. So stay with us because it's going to be good all the way to the end. Hey, yeah, my name is Aage, and I'm the host tonight. And we are transmitting on 44 different platforms around the world. And one of them is the Conscious Awakening Network. Gotta go over there and have a look because they got close to 50 or so different shows over there that cover all the stuff that you are not supposed to know about. But it's there. And also, I want to tell you how you can get a hold of me and also Nori, my co-host on the Broadcast Team Alpha show. You can go to broadcastteamalpha.com. That's our website. And then in the contact feature, send us an email and we'll get the email and we'll get back to you and we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can help you out with something. If you just got questions, that's good too. So, because we're here and we're trying to take care of everybody. But if you are watching us on YouTube, that's the place to be because that's the only chat room that we are able to monitor. If you go to YouTube, also please subscribe. That'll help us a lot. And the super chat will be open if you want to support us there also. It's just like Christmas in, well, I guess it is April. So that'll be Christmas in April for us right now if you help us out there too. And I also want to tell you that Nori and I have created a spiritual think tank where we do incredible things. It seems like we are creating out of seemingly nothing sometimes. And it, the mastermind, I just got to tell you, the mastermind principle is based on something that is when two or more minds are united in harmony, they create a third mind, one that has the potential mind power of the two or more of them multiplied by each other. So if you got let's say 1,000 people getting together, thinking of one thing, visualizing one thing, and intended for something to happen in one direction, now you suddenly have the mind power of 1,000,000 minds, and that is very powerful. We have done incredible things. One of them was somebody on their deathbed in the hospital. We wrapped our mastermind around her and we saw her walking out of the hospital the next day. And that's what she did. Perfectly healthy. The doctor said, "Gee, you recovered so fast, there was no need for us to keep you any longer." So, yes, like I said, we do incredible things. Send us an email and I'll send you a link and you can come and check it out and see if you want to be part of something bigger than yourself. Send the email to themastermindconnection@gmail.com. And we'll be back to you and then we'll see what we can do. I want to say a few words about our guest. This is James Edward Lucier. He is returning to, I think it was Broadcast Team Alpha last time, but this time it's the Paranormal World Show under the same umbrella, so it's kind of the same. I want to, he's got a very interesting background. He stepped out of the box at the age of about 11, and he found himself outside of his body looking back at himself. Now, if you have an experience like that, I know that it will change your life forever. But since that day, he's been searching and building his experience, and now he is sharing his experience with the world. He is on the speaking circuit and being interviewed on local TV and radios around the world, and has hundreds of successful psychic predictions that has become come through. And he is also a Reiki practitioner, and he has written 51 books. And he's put together a mystery school in Canada. And he's teaching, I think, 7 or so more courses of different things that you got to go to his website and check out. And his website, I probably have to spell this one to you. Mistaged one at, .com. MISTAGU, no, GOGUE1.com. And it will be in the text down below. So you'll find the website there, and then you can go and visit and see what's going on. I did, and I enjoyed myself over there. And now I would say, people watching and listening to this, keep your ears open because this is going to get good. First, we're going to start out with something that he has researched. And also, he is a psychic medium, and he's drawing on his information from both from physical research and psychic medium research and channeling. When you put those things together, amazing things can come to the surface. So I want to say, James, welcome to the show again.
Oh, thank you very much, Aage, for having me. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
That's good. I have been looking forward to this because we're going to go into the corners of the universe again. And
Okay.
um, yeah, if the universe
Yeah,
had corners, we would be there.
sure. Okay. I may
Yeah,
be a bit rusty. I haven't done this in a while, but I'll do my best.
yeah. Now, we were talking before on several occasions about there's one issue that is very, very interesting to me, and that is the hollow earth. Maybe not just the hollow, but there are also subsurface caverns and things like that. But the hollow earth, I am really interested in that. I want to hear what you have found and what your research show.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. There's a lot. I have my YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and on the YouTube channel, I do a few videos of my illustrations that I've channeled down about Hollow Earth. And so people can go there and because we can't, it'll be too much to
Yeah.
there'll be a long a lot of stuff to go through. um but yeah, Hollow Earth is something that I'm just going to call them the Federation, just to put them all into one box.
Hmm.
Federation of planets that higher intelligent beings put this planet together, almost uh, like a puzzle piece, like puzzles. And they assembled it, uh, I guess, artificially. It's an artificial planet. The Earth is constructed by them for the sole purpose of multi dimensions, parallel Earths, parallel universes. And Hollow Earth is basically it's always been a part of uh, the different ages of Mu, Lemuria, Atlantis, the various ages of levity, when they mastered levity, and they used it to build all kinds of structures all over the world, like ley lines, lots of ley lines, energy structures. They just found underneath the pyramid of Giza these pillars that are designed to vibrate energy so much that it produces an energy that can be spread about the whole planet. So Hollow Earth is a whole system of tunnels and large pockets of extraterrestrial civilizations, and they come and go. People see them every once in a while, and to me, when I looked, when I remote viewed this Hollow Earth, what I saw for myself was something like a cheesecloth, where there was these large pockets all over the earth of cities, and
Yeah.
then um, interconnected with massive tunnels. It was all over the place.
Mm.
Now, there's many different types of hollow earth that people have seen over the many decades. And I believe that all of them are true in their own way. And one of the main secrets of all this is that there are, in fact, in my opinion, many different kinds of parallel Earths and alternate Earths.
Hmm.
And that we are, all of us together right now are in a certain continuum, living out our daily lives. But there are many other realities, many other dimensions, and uh, they come together in Hollow Earth.
Hmm. Yeah, you mentioned that Earth was actually an artificial planet. I know that's going to be hard to believe for some people, but there is some evidence to this.
Yes.
Take an example. Uh, our moon has been proven to be hollow. All the evidence show that it's hollow. It's a spaceship because it's too far. I mean, it's too close, too big, too fast around the Earth to hold that orbit. It can't do it, but it does. And same thing, the Earth has been declared to be hollow by many, many scientists. One of them was, you know, everybody heard about Halley's Comet. Halley, he lived quite a while ago, and he said, my calculations show that Earth must be hollow because it is too big, too close to the sun, and going too fast to hold the orbit that it has, unless it is hollow. So now we're right with you. There's got to be an opening inside where there are other people, other entities and creatures in there. And yeah, I'm getting excited already.
Yes, there's the Earth is saturated with portals.
Yeah.
Almost any place, any time can become a portal. Um, and everything I'm saying is just within my own opinions. I just try to channel what I receive, and
Yeah.
the there are many entrances to Hollow Earth, and most of them are that we know of are tunnels, and the tunnel only reaches a certain depth, and then there's a wall that closes off the entrance, and you can't go any further. Now, in that space, there are what they call astral tunnels, other astral tunnels that
Mhm.
connect to various other places throughout the world. For example, a tunnel at Mount Sashta would have connections to the pyramids of Egypt and other
Yep.
pyramids of the world, various other ley line places throughout the world, and it can move from one place to another as needed.
Mhm.
So these entities can move about from one place to another, moving these through these channels from one location to another, which is often why people will see cryptids. And all, as far as I'm concerned, all cryptids come from Hollow Earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, they're multidimensional beings, and what we're talking about is multidimensional forces and entities here.
Yeah.
Um, the Hollow Earth is, for some people have recorded as being a perfectly uniformed hollow place inside, and it is, but it also has many other numerous like levels and dimensions to it. So it's kind of like um, everybody's view of Hollow Earth is probably correct in one of the alternate Earths or parallel Earths that exist in the astral realms.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it could because we are multidimensional beings, and so is Earth.
Yes, exactly. Exactly it.
Yeah. And when you're talking about the tunnels, there was about, I think it was 1973, 74, something like that. They were digging a new road up by Mount Shasta. It's called Shasta Road. And they were going around like a curve and they dug out some of the dirt laying there. And they suddenly found there was a tunnel behind the dirt. It
Oh,
went straight into the mountain and then it stopped and went straight down. And it was so big you could drive two locomotives side by side in there. And
wow.
the thing about it, the walls were glazed like it was melted. So we don't have the technology to do that, but it was
No,
there. Somebody did that tunnel. And
right.
of course, they covered it up again. They laid the dirt back on and then they ran the road around it. But that was going in and down. And in the article, it was Shasta News or Shasta Time or something. They said they threw a big boulder into the hole and they heard nothing.
Oh,
That they were so deep that they wouldn't hear where it hit down there.
right.
So that is one puzzling thing. And then there was a scientist now that came out and said they found a tunnel from Rome that went under the ocean all the way to Turkey.
Okay.
So this cannot be argued. It's
No,
coming out.
no, no, exactly. These discoveries are proving that the Earth is, for lack of better words, artificial. To them, it's natural, but
Yeah.
for and to us, it's supernatural. But they built it, they constructed it to be like that,
Hmm.
to have these massive tunnel systems. And you know that boulder probably it probably went a certain distance and then it was moved out into a different dimension or moved out of the way. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
was beamed out, so it didn't hurt anything. That's probably why nobody heard nothing because it vanished. They took
Yeah.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. And then we have that was also in Turkey, I think, where they found an underground city that could hold 30,000 people. Remember that with all these yeah,
Right.
it's all there.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Especially when there was the Great Flood during the War of the Anunnaki, and the good guys told people to hide, build cities underground. They helped them and helped opened up some of the hollow earth areas for them to hide and survive the flood.
Mhm.
And you know, I you were just mentioning the glossiness of that entrance you were just talking about. Well, I this is a picture of. You
Okay.
see that? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we see it.
Yeah, it's one of the channeled visions I had. Should I take it away now, or?
Mm.
But anyway, the walls were made of emerald. They
Green.
had
Okay.
all kinds of hieroglyphic symbols on the
Uh,
sides,
okay.
and the ceiling and the roof and the ceiling were like onyx, like shiny. And then there was kind of an entrance that looked like a UFO could fit in there.
Ah, okay.
That's one of the visions.
Yeah. When it comes to the Hollow Earth and what might be in there, what do you see in there? You're doing remote viewing, so what kind of people are in there?
Oh, very many different kinds, many different. There. I got a picture of the city if you want to see it. Many. Well, first of all, yeah, there's many different types, numerous types of entities now. Some people say 20, some people 50, some people 100. No, it's thousands. It's
Yeah.
thousands of different forms of entities from all over the universe. There is no limitations really. If you're thinking limitations and you're not thinking right, you have to think beyond the limitations of what we might consider normal.
Mhm.
Um, but this is a picture of
Oh,
Hollow Earth.
all right.
One of the
Explain
main,
this one a little bit.
is that it? Can you see
Yeah,
it?
we can see it.
Okay,
Pull it back just a little bit so we can get, there you go. That's the
okay,
whole, now we see the whole page.
okay. So I'll just say, very.
What's that column in the middle?
That is a column of. That's the energy center that holds the city, and it's made of numerous, infinite numbers of cogs and wheel-like systems, and it generates huge quantities of energy that it receives from the core of the Earth. It transmits and transforms all that energy, passes it throughout the city, and at the top there's a dome, and the whole pillar is like infinite numbers of,
Hmm.
you know, if you could imagine billions of CDs, like DVDs stacked upon each other, it would look like that, but they're all spinning and turning, and they're
Okay.
all generating this energy.
Okay, so the on the right and on the left, it looks like there are buildings sitting there.
Yeah, it actually goes all the way around, actually. It goes all
Okay.
the way around the whole inner pillar tube. And this thing's
Pillar.
connected to all of the other major cities of Agartha. There's quite a few of them. There's quite a few of them. They're
Yeah.
scattered all over the planet.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah, just like cheesecloth, like I was mentioning. Is there anything I
Yeah.
missed out on? I don't know if I think I got it all on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people are thinking that if you have a cave inside, it's got to be pretty dark in there. What do you know about the lighting system?
Oh, yeah, the lighting system again comes from what I got was that the Earth does in our physical world, there's a core, molten core of light and plasmas
Mhm.
and EMF energies and all that. And they take this energy, they tap into it, and they zap it back out into the cities so that it's all over,
Mhm.
scattered throughout the city. It's the light is taken from the core.
Oh, okay.
There is taken from the core and it's brought up into the cities and converted into light. And the light shines down from, well, it's evenly spaced, but the light comes down from the above dome at the top.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. But there's many different versions. Like some people say there is no core, and in some astral dimensions, altered Earths, altered parallel worlds, like I was saying, it is hollow. There is no core in some places.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I think that's the meeting place. I think that's where we can all find common ground is alternate Earths, alternate parallel planets. Goes back into infinite science fiction
Hmm.
shows and TV shows and such. And but they, like they say, most science fiction actually ends up becoming fact at some point, you know. So the, if like for example, conspiracy theories, many people, there's so many fractures coming into the earth now, different parallel earths and parallel planets of the earth. They're intersecting with ours. And so some people are seeing and experiencing these alternate realities, and some people are not.
Yeah.
For example, you'll see a UFO, a great big giant UFO in the sky, but no one else can see it. Only a few people can see it, but no one else can. And
Hmm.
it's like that. So I believe that these conspiracy theories and these alternate faiths or alternate realities, they're all true, but they're in different time dimensions, different parallel Earths. but every once in a while they'll cross into our world.
Yeah.
And for a brief moment, people will see them and understand it and see it. For example, there was a cell phone. I just saw a picture. I think it was on your timeline. A cell phone from many thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
And it had Anunnaki writing on it.
Yeah, I've seen that. That
Yeah,
was just strange.
you're right, right. So
But
here's something to think about is as we get deeper and deeper and deeper into digital technologies and uh, computer technologies beyond imagination, it's possible that these machines can enter a space and time and actually go back in time uh, and plant. Some things will be planted. Uh, Devices can be planted in various different times. There's one photo of a time traveling person with a cell phone to his ear. There's a little photo of that, and he's got the looks like a cell phone or something to his ear, and
yeah.
it's from the 18th century or something like that. And who knows? Maybe he found it somewhere and he didn't know what it was or something like that. And but you know, it's like the technology of the future is becoming so dense, so compact into the infinitesimal
Yeah.
that we're entering the 13 to 20 different dimensions of the quantum realm. And when we're doing that, the technologies can then, when you have like 20 different dimensions at your disposal, you can time travel. At that level, you can be able to time travel. At when you reach that level.
And the thing about time travel is that just recently, I think just a few days ago, Trump admitted we can control space and time. And then right after that, the military confirmed it. Yes, we are manipulating time and space.
Yes,
What they said, time and space, that means that they are able to travel or get information or whatever from anything outside of the present moment. That takes me back to, do you remember that temple in Egypt in Abydos? That little panel on the wall got an outcrop of perfect Apache helicopter.
right. Yeah, I remember that. I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah. They don't make these kinds of drawings, I mean, the carvings, without seeing something.
exactly. Yep, just like in Peru where they found those planes, those little golden planes, and they are perfectly designed to fly.
Yeah. And another dig in South America, they found a coin, an American coin with a swastika on it.
Oh, interesting.
Another one in China. There was a dig where they dug up a sarcophagus with some dignitary in it. They got him up, and there was stone, solid stone, very, very heavy. It has been closed for 800 years. When they finally got the lid off, there was a guy in there. And he was, clothed like they did back then, but he had Nike shoes on.
Oh, wow.
And it was all
Wow.
on camera. They were taking it, the camera saw them take the lid off, and the camera swept across the body, and there was the shoes.
Wow.
And the archaeologist, there was somebody from England, I think, that was there with them. And they said, we have no comment on those shoes. We cannot even think where they came from.
Right. Yeah. So, again, in the far future, in our future,
Yeah,
with the technologies we are creating, we are digging very deep into the infinitesimal now. And we're
yeah,
going to keep going there. And as we do that, we're going to be, it's like uh, you're digging a hole in the ground, all of a sudden you hit a pipeline and the pipeline explodes because you
Yeah.
hit it. And it's going to be like that with these dimensions, with these alternate dimensions
Yeah.
that they're picking up, because there's what, 20, almost 20 different dimensions in the quantum realm.
Hmm.
And if we start tapping into those, that could lead to all kinds of troubles where things of our world can
Yeah.
be transferred backward into time. And these people are picking up these things. They're picking up the shoes, they're picking up the iPhones, they're finding all this stuff because the quantum dimensions pushed it back to those
Yeah.
times. Does that make sense?
It could very well be because nobody can tell me that time travel is not real, especially knowing what I've been able to do too.
Right. And I mean, things always disappeared. Like all of a sudden, if it isn't the ghost that did it, the keys are gone, or
Yeah.
something's missing, or I can't
Yeah.
find my shoes, or I can't find this, or I can't find that. Where did it go? Nobody stole it. So
Yeah.
it may have
Yeah.
went back into the past somewhere.
Yeah. Where did it all go? But
Right.
hey, I want to get back to the Hollow Earth again because
Okay.
um, what do you see? What kind of people are in there? I know there's a book that dates back to about right before 1900 of this Olsen that he ended up going in the North Pole opening and coming out the South Pole opening, and he wrote about it. Actually, someone else wrote about his story, and he said there are people in there that is about 10 to 12 foot tall. What do you see?
Well, there's many different layers to Hollow Earth, many different dimensional realms and layers. Um, Almost every kind is there. Like for example, it's like having a single channel, but made of numerous fiber optics, and each fiber optic is like a different vibration, different energy. So there's a Hollow Earth vibrational energy for the insectoids. There's
Hmm.
one for the grays. There's one for the 10-foot tall humanoids. There's uh, there's one for the various different types of the gods, the Anunnaki, um, Pleiadians. They each have their own frequency that they function in and function on.
Yeah.
And the Hollow Earths are designed so that they can all exist in the same space but in different levels of energy. This is something like what I was, something like that, where you see one cable, one
Oh,
tunnel can have many,
uh,
many different numerous
the astral tunnels. Hmm.
astral channels, right? That think of it. It's like tuning an FM channel,
Hmm.
turning to different channels. So one channel might have the Pleiadians, another channel might have the insectoids or the reptilians. There's numerous. The reptilians love the underworld. They love the Hollow Earth. um, there's a theory that the reptilians were here about 1 million years before us, and they advanced so much
Yeah.
that they actually left the planet, and they returned after we started nuclear weapons testing. And but I'm not saying the planet belongs to them. I'm just saying it belongs to everyone. It
Hmm.
belongs to all of the Federation and the various different
Yeah.
entities. You know, they made a pact some time ago about that, where okay, let's share this, you share that, or we'll take this, you share this, you share that. But they came together and they said, okay, we're all gonna do our own thing and work together.
Yeah. Another evidence for the hollow earth is that I have this NASA print taken from the ESA-7 satellite in 1978, I think, when sitting in a stationary orbit right above the North Pole, taking a picture straight down, and it shows an 800-mile wide hole at the North Pole going into the center of the Earth. And people say, look at that picture. Yeah, that's all put together. That's fake. Well, there's a problem with that, and that is that I contacted NASA and they confirmed it is their picture.
Oh, okay.
So I know that picture is real, showing a hole, but they will not comment on it. They say, we don't know.
Yeah, that's a very high possibility because,
Yeah,
yeah, the Earth can, it's an instrument for them, for the extraterrestrial beings. It's an instrument of where they could open up a large hole like that for a craft either to come into the Earth or a very large craft to come out.
yeah.
And they can do that. It's like opening up a large portal that they can beam in or beam out.
I know there was one person that worked at NASA, and he kind of gave an explanation for that picture. And he said, normally, he says, the computer slides an ice sheet over the hole so nobody can see it. But this time, the computer glitched or somebody forgot to do it, so the hole was shown. And
Well,
I am totally going with that one.
yeah, yeah, very interesting. Yeah, like there's many sinkholes, what they call them now, all over the world.
Yeah.
And like you said, you throw something in there and it goes on forever. And so one of the things I received was that the Earth was made of these screws, astral like multi-dimensional screws.
Hmm.
And every once in a while, one will actually pop out. And uh, it's been witnessed on the coast of Newfoundland and New York State, where they filmed this big missile looking screw with the grooves on it.
Uh-huh.
And it was flying out of the ocean. And yeah, the planet is a giant stargate for them to come in with giant ships, small ships,
Yeah.
what have you.
I see we're at the bottom of the hour here. So for those of you that joined us late, we are talking with James Lucier. He's got a mystery school in Canada, and he's teaching courses, and he has written 51 books. I found out. Man, that's admirable. Oh, uh, you're putting out books like bakers put out donuts, aren't you? Okay, well, anyway, it's getting very interesting here. We're talking about the hollow earth, and I I got one more question on the hollow earth from your perspective of what you have seen through remote viewing and psychic impressions. What about the central sun? Is that the one that keeps it lit up in there, or is there other things involved also?
Well, the central sun is, from what I saw, surrounds the core. It goes around the core, and it draws all its energy from the core, and it lights up the outer rim with intense light, like not our kind of light.
Mm.
Our kind of light is radiation based. Their light is more purified, more 100% pure energy. Theirs is pure energy. Ours isn't. It's radioactive, actually. But anyway, it's a round rim of light that is shared, and then it's channeled through tubes of tunnels, if you will, to the various other cities throughout the planet, the various
Hmm.
other Hollow Earth cities.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
uh, and I also know there's a story that comes out of Greenland, and that is about 1420 or so in the year, that year, around there. There were a few, there was a Viking settlement on Greenland on the west coast, and they uh, they were kind of stranded there because they ran out of wood. They couldn't make boats anymore, and they couldn't create fire anymore. There were nothing there that would burn. So the Inuit and the Eskimos kept telling them, go to the north. It's nice and warm up there. Go to the north. And they got convinced that maybe we should, because they looked at the facts and say, the Arctic fox migrate to the north in the wintertime. That doesn't make sense. And there's several other things. So they went with some of the Eskimos to the north, and they were never heard from again. They left message behind saying that we went to the north where there is trees, there is green grass, there is nice and warm weather. Now, I found that yes, the Vikings are still on the inside of the earth. They have a settlement inside the North Polar region. And I don't know if you ever looked into anything like that, but there are inside this, not just the Viking, there are also other people like us, especially inside the South Polar entrance where there is a German settlement. And maybe there are others that you could talk about too.
Oh, exactly. Like it's very possible because there are many civilizations throughout history, such as the Anasazi and some of the Mayan populations that
Mhm.
have just totally disappeared. And so the conspiracy theorists of the ancient aliens, I think it is, they say, well, they all saucers came along and picked them all up and took them into outer space. But hey,
Yeah,
maybe they didn't go into outer space. They went down into the earth.
yeah. Wow. It gets complicated when you step out of the box, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Hollow Earth is such a. I'm surprised that the TV series Ancient Aliens hasn't done more on it because it encompasses everything. Like the planet is surrounded by grids of triangles of high strangeness. And there used to be a lot more of them, and they used to be a lot stronger and more powerful. But then there was the
Yeah,
flood, there was the earthquakes, and so forth. But these triangles of high strangeness are directly connected to Hollow Earth.
yeah, yeah. That's right. Uh, I have a couple of more questions that I would love to ask you too. You know, teaching a mystery school, you have probably studied most of the things that people want to know about. But I'm going to ask you, we think we are living here on Earth at this time, but are we really? What is, I'm going to ask you this, what is life?
Well, we're living in a certain frequency. Okay, it's like this. There's the electromagnetic field, the band, and we are only living in a very slim
Yeah,
uh, fracture of that. So we're only receiving certain quantities of ultraviolet, infrared. There's so much that of the EMF spectrum that we are missing out on. And because we're all genetically structured to experience only a certain frequency of energies at
yeah,
any given time. And so when you think about those frequencies, it was introduced into our genetic code by the alien species, by the Anunnaki and so forth, so that in this great experiment of experiments, we only perceive certain shared reality.
Yeah.
So we say, oh, that's a wall, that's a TV, that's a TV screen, that's a couch, that's a wall. We agree on all of these things. And so we just live our lives, living however we want to live. But most of us, 99%, don't realize that there's 100% unnatural, parallel worlds outside of us, around us.
Yeah.
For example, right now there's numerous frequencies of uh, TV, radio energies flying right through us,
Hmm.
and nobody notices it. But it's real. It's there. It's going right through us.
Yeah. Yeah. If you just mentioned it, if the light specter is this long, what we can see only is this far.
Exactly.
Don't we wonder who lives in the other
Exactly.
part of the spectrum? I
Exactly.
know there are people living there because I see them here in the house. I call them shadow people.
Right.
I
Yep.
saw them right out there at my 90 degrees off my, when I look over there, they're gone. But they live in this house also. And they
Exactly.
never bother me. But that's probably just outside of what we can see.
Right. Exactly. And every once in a while, we'll get a glimpse of what's beyond our normal spectrum
Yeah.
of perception. But that's exactly yeah, exactly right. The shadow people are also a part of Hollow Earth
Mhm.
because many people have been seeing them with the hats, those weird hats. And they're agents. They actually, the Twilight Zone did a good episode one time. They called it the Minutemen, and the Minutemen
Oh, yeah.
come along and they prop everything for the people to experience in the future, and
Hmm.
that's kind of what they're doing. But yeah, they could be all around us everywhere, and we wouldn't know it. We wouldn't experience it unless we really tap into some kind of deep meditation or something.
Yeah. And then you can talk to astral travelers, and you had that experience outside of your physical body. Once you start venturing out there and roaming around looking at things, you're going to find there are other people out there that is floating around just like you do. And there are entities, there are things even that has never had physical body like us, and they're curious.
Yes.
They want
Yeah.
to know what you know, so they come and try to communicate. And
Yeah.
that's why I keep telling people, figure out what you're doing first before you really get involved with those
Right.
things out there, because they can follow you home.
Yes. Yes. Educate yourself. Education is number one. Know what you're doing first before you get into things you may not want coming back with you to your house or something.
Yeah. Yeah. If they come back, move in with you, you got to
Yeah, that's
charge them
right.
rent.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's, but life can be so many things, especially if you start thinking of quantum mechanics, then you find out that, wait a minute, there is nothing here except for a projection from the mind into the physical vibration so you can see and do things.
Yes, exactly.
And that's what a hard one to wrap our head around. That's just,
Yeah. A lot of what I've received from various different alien species is a philosophy of what is called spatial intelligence.
yeah,
That is the space in between spaces, or the space in between thoughts.
yeah,
Um, in those,
yeah. Yeah, that's when, if you talk to a born again Christian or a Muslim or a scientist, tell them about what's out there, they probably will never talk to you again.
right? Yeah, the ancients knew, like thousands of years ago, they knew
Yeah.
that the universe we live in is virtually built on nothingness.
Mhm.
It's hard to comprehend,
Yeah.
but they get to such finite points that there's nothing there. It's just space.
We create, well, quantum mechanics is basically telling us, I'm paraphrasing, that we live in a mind-created, self-aware, projected hologram. So if that's the case, there's nothing here except the hologram. But a hologram can be real in its own form. We have, science now has developed holograms that can think on their own because it reaches back into the quantum computer and it finds information that it projects on its own. We don't have to do the different things anymore. So this gets into Android, the robotic entities. I guarantee you, 20, 30 years from now, maybe even 5 or 10, you're going to be walking down the street next to a guy, but he is a robot and you would never know it.
Yeah, I could see that in the future. Yeah, absolutely. It could very easily happen.
Man, it's
Yeah,
going to
the
be
techno.
it's going to be an interesting world we are walking into.
Oh yes, the technologies we're building right now
Yeah,
are moving very quickly into compression, where we're building deeper and deeper and deeper into the spatial
mhm.
realm of the quantum, uh, and that's where the other dimensions are. And they're going to start interfering into our technological world at some point, if they haven't
Yeah,
already. And we're going to start seeing weird things happening.
yeah,
Lots of weird things happening. Lots of Nike shoes all over the place from from ancient Egypt or something like that, or all kinds of weird things are going to keep happening
yeah,
because at some point in the future we tapped into something that is bringing back certain frequencies of energies back into the past
yeah,
objects.
yeah, it can. And when I said that there is nothing here, that does not mean that we are not here also. Because my opinion is that there's a higher spiritual source of us that cannot have physical experiences. But these physical experiences are so important. It, whatever it is, wants that experience. So it created us, created the midgets, it creates animals, it creates Pleiadians to play in this arena. So the extraterrestrials are just like us. They are holographically projected self-aware units also. Am I
Yeah,
onto something?
yeah, like the uh the alien species, they you see, okay, for us, our souls, we I believe we have souls. In East
Yeah,
India, in the Indian Hinduism, called Atman, and in Buddhism, it's sort of like a an essence of nirvana sort of like thing,
yeah,
but it's all universal consciousness. And um, the the main theory, what happened was that at some point, from the source, from the main source of what we could call God, whatever their definition of God may be, the sparks flew out like a
yeah.
big solar flare,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, they wanted to have all of these experience of everything. They wanted to experience the physical world and the realms within it. And so we're making our way back to the main source, to the main primary source of all, through reincarnations and karma. And uh, that's the system. It is just like a computer. It collects all this data and information, and it says, well, okay, well, you did. you did pretty good, so we're, you can come back
Mhm.
again as a human. But it's like that.
Yeah,
The soul is real, in my opinion, and the soul is a part of every other soul. It's another form of Buddhism, I think, or is it Hinduism? Might be Hinduism, where every soul experiences the experience of every other soul on earth. We experience all the same experiences, except that all of that is on an unconscious level. At the unconscious level, we
Mhm.
don't, we just experience our own experiences. But the soul is experiencing all of the other
Yeah.
experiences of everyone.
Mhm. I got another question for you, and that is that now the rumor on the street is that sooner or later we're all supposed to experience this, and that is death. What happens when we drop the body? Do we go to heaven or do we go like the Vikings thought to Valhalla where we can drink and fight and do for eternity?
That sounds fun.
But or do we just end up in the astral world or somebody come and get us to go home? What happens in your opinion here?
So many different things. When the body, you see, the body dies only when the soul is ready for the body to die. That's why some people die at a very early age of something, or they just die at whatever age. And that is because the soul has said, that's it. I've experienced enough and it's time to go. And
Yeah,
that's what happens. So one way or another, when the soul is ready to separate from the body, that's what's going to happen. And
yeah, mm,
every our souls are when we pass, most people believe we enter from their experiences a tunnel, a form of tunnel. Again, like a hollow earth, right? The tunnels. Um, a lot of people experience good things. A lot of people experience bad things. I think it has a lot to do with how people were raised. If they were raised on Buddhism or if they were raised on Christianity, then those are the things they will experience at first when they
yeah,
cross over. They'll see Christ, or they'll see Buddha, or they'll see Allah,
yeah,
or they'll see someone. And that will last for a little while. It's almost like a gently bringing you back into what is truly beyond. In, but first, you have to go through that veil of mind where we expect our expectations. We have to go through that veil of our expectations,
yeah.
what we expect to see. And then that gradually disappears. And then we begin to see what is truly on the other side.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and there are people have had near-death experiences and they go through just what you talked about, and then someone at the other end of the tunnel say, "Wait a minute, son, you can't come here. You got more work to do yet." So they ship you back. They don't want you.
Right.
And then they come back and talk about it. So if it's in their memory, something happened there. So this cannot be explained away. There are too many people. There are millions of people have had that experience.
Yes.
It cannot be talked out of it.
No,
It-
we have, in my opinion, we have immortal souls because
yeah,
uh, our freedom of choice, our consciousness, our no one knows. Science still doesn't have an inkling of what consciousness really is. They don't
yeah,
understand. They don't understand it
yeah,
because it's so. But that's one thing about the human body is that it's so complex with so much DNA and so
yeah.
much other molecular structures that
Mhm.
are so complex that it can host a soul. A soul can come into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For animal spirits, it's a little different. They're spirits of the animal kingdoms. They're not the universal divine energy of the human soul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yeah, like I said, the rumor is that we get to experience, and then, and on the other hand, dying is kind of a thing that nobody can do it for you, so you gotta do it yourself,
Right.
and that way you get the experience. And when you get through the tunnel, most people say it is wonderful on the other side.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
there's many people that have passed away, and the doctor's right there, and the nurses are there, and the people are there, and all of a sudden they'll see this light come out, and
yeah,
then the body sheds about what is it, five, 5, 6, 7 pounds. All of a sudden it disappears. Where did it go? All that,
yeah,
yeah, that weight is,
something left.
yeah, something left. And if anybody has experienced, the natural process of grieving, where you look at the person you loved and they're in their coffin, that's not, the spirit is gone. You
Yeah,
know that
it's
their energy, their spiritual essence is gone.
Yeah, there's nothing there anymore. So,
Right.
yeah. Oh gosh, I'm looking at the clock and I see we only got about 4 minutes left. So, man, this went fast. You
Yes.
know, we had fun here. This was really interesting. This was good. And tell people where they can get a hold of you and also where they can get your books. I guess on Amazon, but please tell us.
Okay. Well, two of my books, the Tarot Wheel and the each, you can find those on Schleifer Publishing website. And all of my other books you can find on Amazon Kindle under Jim Edward Lucier or
Okay.
Lucier. It depends on if you're French or not. In
Yeah.
French, it's pronounced Lucier.
Yeah, tell them do you want to let your email address out if they want to contact you?
Sure. It's mystagod1 at yahoo.ca.
Okay.
And I have my YouTube channel where I explain a lot more of this Hollow Earth with many more illustrations for people.
Yeah.
I mean, we just touched on the surface of what
Yeah, we
it could be.
scratched the scratch on the scratch that will scratch into the scratch. This is good. Well, I really enjoyed this talk with you, so I hope that you get a million calls.
Oh, thank
And
you.
and
Aage, I just want to say one last quick thing. We love the American people here in Canada. We love you.
yeah,
And don't let the politics interfere. We love you.
yeah. Yeah, get in touch with him, and he is very approachable, and he will. If you start reading his books, you're going to learn some things because that's what a mystery school is all about. So then, any last words?
Just that, like I said, the parallel Earths and the alternate Earths,
Yeah,
um, that's the meeting ground where we can all come to say, okay, you know what? Maybe you did see what you said you saw, or maybe you did find what you said you found. In all the conspiracy theories and all of the world of all of this, that's where we can meet. We can come together and say,
yeah,
okay, that is possible,
yes,
especially in a future where someday we may be tapping into 20 different dimensions. And how is that going to affect our technologies? How is that going to affect time?
hmm
You know,
yeah,
so we all just need to be open-minded and try to come to some meeting ground. You
yeah,
know,
absolutely, because there is more to the world than what you see on TV.
yes, yes,
So anyway, talking to the listeners and the viewers out there. I thank you for being with us. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, and that'll help us a lot. And until next time, be good to each other.